Welcome, welcome. Sorry, but I didn't realize I didn't preload my avatar beforehand. But welcome everyone. Today we're gonna be doing art stream, and reacting to YouTube videos. So hopefully y'all enjoy that. And with that being said, let's get right into it. All right, there we go. Right now I got things loaded up. Let me start a new canvas. All right. Since we already tip a moment. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Which pretty much we were trying to do that. Right now, style tip. Add style, choose popular genre, type of squish visual. Develop a sense of style. Developing a sense of doesn't mean you radical to favorite elements. It means to emphasize the theme, concept, and eye catch. For example, gradually you emphasize princess hairstyle, mythical dress. Alright. Character design. Each character has some has in this chapter has something extra that makes them stand out. Remember, tips. It's better to exaggerate one main aspect character than tweak a lot of minor ones. Kemenome is a Japanese term. Kemenamimi. Kemenamimi is a Japanese term for any human character with animal ears. Most popular one is feline, but it can also be a fox, bunny, mostly anything cute. Kemenamimi can be seen in all genres. Characters contrast unique fox features with a conventional schoolgirl outfit that stands out. Alright, so we're gonna be attempting to draw this while reacting to some YouTube videos. I already have that's gonna be banned. Hold on. Hold on real quick. I can actually did Kickletter crash on me on my phone? Banned. Banned. You are banned. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're banned, and delete your message. Banned. You are banned. Okay, that being said, I'm gonna probably have my phone right here just in case. I can move this over here. All right. All right, there we go.
Am I doing AI?
AI assisted has been slapped on
Okay, there
every
we go.
appliance, phone, and platform in the last few months. I think I even saw a tag for it on my khakis. For students, it's been the biggest breakthrough, combining Quizlet, Grammarly, and SparkNotes all in one. Take that, Chegg. Most of it's just machine learning labeled as AI, but machine learning is old news. We live in the new era, generating things like this.
Oof.
Leading the charge in the phone market is Google and Samsung, both adopting Google Gemini with their phones. Listen, I'm for whatever kills Bixby faster. That's fine by me. Truth be told, I'm not on any of the main 3 platforms right now, so I don't have a huge stake in this mess. But the reason I'm making this video is because of the ads you and I had to see for the last few months. Some of these videos are so demeaning.
So it's like a treadmill?
For hot dogs? Exactly.
One of the videos I saw just had a dude open his fridge and then ask his Gemini phone, why does my fridge smell bad? Like it's a fridge where you put goods that expire. It's the food. And while I can't find that ad anymore, maybe they removed it after some backlash, I've rounded up what I could find that's still out there to just go through and memorialize today. And wow, they're all about as stupid as the fridge.
Let me tell something spicy without tasting it. Have you tried smelling it?
I want you to keep in mind the question that these actors are asking, not just the pretty camera work or the editing. You have to remember, these are the prompts that Google thinks that we will ask the phones. Let's get into it.
What the
First up is this doofy musical called Prompt Your Way with Gemini.
Okay, draw elbows.
Enter prompt here. Okay, it can't be that hard. How about generate an image of a cat playing guitar?
Aw, that's cute. It's a cat playing guitar. I
Okay.
wonder what everyone else is doing with AI image generators. Ooh, look, an unrelated Business Insider article.
We all gotta start somewhere.
Is that how it works? Am I doing AI?
Am I doing AI?
What a last minute gift ideas you can make with arts and crafts.
Plan a workout routine to get bigger calves.
Help me think of titles for my tell-all memoir.
What's something smart I can say about Renoir?
What I
the
love about all
fuck?
these prompts is that they're basically saying you don't need to be creative, resourceful, or capable to take care of your own little problems in your life. We built a data center in Ohio that'll generate a title for your self-indulgent book. Like imagine an interview of an author with a really clever book title. And what inspired you to name this cookbook Fork Knife Kettle Broil? I mean, that's not even how you spell broil. For the bigger calves guy, you know they're just scrubbing the internet for leg workout routines. And you'll be lucky if they have the sources they pulled from in immediate view. Otherwise, Junior here is going to be on Get Fit Quick TikTok for the rest of the week. You better watch out, kid. You might get stuck buying someone's greens. And this originally bugged me because it's just asking Google, hey, help me pretend I know something. However, confession time. For every guy my age that's still into a cartoon like Naruto or Pokemon, there's been girls my age I've met who are still very much into Monster High. Sometimes, when I pick up on this, I'll simply say the line like a sleeper agent. I'm a bit of a Draculaura gal myself. Don't know why. I know nothing about the character, simply that she's in the show, she's the pinkish purple one, and she's
Yep.
a mainish character. But what this does is it prompts the other person to go further into the conversation about that topic. It's like a social green light to continue talking about that show. I've used this tactic to learn more through the lens of these superfans. If you know nothing about a topic, it can completely shut down a conversation. But if you know at least one thing, it can prompt some dialogue and discussion, which feels nice for the other person, and in return, you get to learn something about their special interest. The phrasing is the real problem here. This is a grown man asking for live spark notes in an art gallery about Renoir. Like, big dog, you are dressed up at an art gallery. Go learn something there. Look at you tapping away on your phone. Go talk to someone.
Generate another image of a cat playing guitar.
What's funny is I think we're still in this era of AI. For one of my design work study things, we used an
Yeah.
AI image generator to brainstorm product forms, and the higher-ups thought our prompts were so important, so unique that we didn't want to give them away to other companies. So they researched ways to hide our prompts from other machine learning models. They all looked so bad and were hardly presentable. There's a place and a time to use that sort of image generation, but right now, people use it for slop, especially if they're too lazy to learn how to create anything. I like to call this scene girl gets gang stalked while dealing with being catcalled.
If a girl calls me a snack, how do I reply?
Why would you add a flushing sound here? Also, look at this poor girl. They couldn't have gotten her a taller step stool or something. That's just mean.
Make this email sound more professional before I hit send.
Google loves the write this email for me crowd. They pulled this one a lot. Can you write this email for me? I don't know how to write 2 paragraphs to a boss. Maybe they won't like my tone.
What's a good excuse to cancel dinner with my friends?
We're literally sitting right here.
You know I can do other stuff, right?
Speaking of just super useful features, here's Google Pixel 9's #ad.
You can ask me about anything.
Anything at all.
My resume.
These complicated instructions?
This photo I just took?
Sure.
Resume? Good. Complicated instructions? Maybe. This photo I took? I guarantee you that photo will outlive you, stored away in one of their data centers. Also, maybe get some friends or something. Sprawled out on the living room floor in the afternoon, talking to your phone ain't really a good look.
Can you take a look at this giant hole?
Can you take a look at this giant hole? That hole is easier to repair than it looks.
I don't know how long Dumb and Dumber have been using the TV like this. This is a pretty sick house, to be honest. Retro wood adornments, a brick fireplace, and striped
Okay.
wallpaper. You can see how the set designers made it messy without feeling real world messy. It's especially cozy with the pee jar just sitting on the front table. Like, what else is that? That's pee.
That hole is easier to repair than it looks.
Okay. Okay, how about actually researching the problem? Let's just do a little field experiment here. You need experience with drywall, access to sanding tools, a stud finder, a jab saw or knife, measuring tape, matching wallpaper, joint compound, a respirator, good ventilation, and lots of time and patience. So no, it's actually as hard as they probably think it is. They clearly couldn't even mount the TV correctly in the first place.
No, it's backwards.
It is not backwards.
This kid would be getting smacked in the face if dad wasn't holding a 100-pound metal pole right now.
It is not backwards.
I love how he has the headlight on too, since this good-for-nothing kid can't even hold that up. It's so funny. This guy's patience has got to be on some other level, I'll tell you that. Nothing is more infuriating when you're trying to do something difficult and someone's just standing over you telling you you're doing it wrong.
Gemini, I need help.
Okay, let's talk about how to get rid of that spider.
Gemini, I need help. Okay, let's talk about how to get rid of that spider.
Document is not a
positions,
resume. It's a grocery list.
Well, my bad.
Take a look at the photo of my outfit. Let me know what color shoes would go good with it.
Yes, Barbara, I got these beautiful white leather dunks, lightly stomped. You can borrow those. They go
The
with
fuck?
everything.
The green on the left can add a sense of calm.
Oh, do we really need an AI model to tell us how different shades of green make us feel? It's pretty common for people to choose a color they don't like at first while painting. That's understandable. But lady, I'm sorry, you've got 6 splotches of paint along with 13 samples taped to the wall. I feel like we just caught Susan here in the middle of a mental breakdown because she wants her sunroom to be just perfect.
Go back a step.
Yeah, we definitely need some help.
Yeah, we definitely need some help. Okay.
Do you want to buy a Pixel yet? Still no? Alright. Maybe the Pixel 9 Pro's unveiling might give you a reason.
Now you might be thinking, huh, it looks different. It's the Google phone with Gemini built in.
What's funny about having products or brands named after astral signs is that I'm sure there are people out there that are so in tune with their birthday chakra that they probably buy said product on the naming alone. It's like, wow, this Vans collab is so cool. I feel so represented by this colorway. Ford Taurus.
Okay, so my friend's really tough to shop for.
Can you help me think of a gift? Totally.
Can you help me think of a gift?
Totally.
I mean, unironically, one of the hardest things to do anymore is get someone a gift. I get it. But this cannot be that hard, man.
Totally. Let's figure it out together.
Did you get invited to the Capitol after winning the Hunger Games? Are you friends with one of the extras from the Cat in the Hat? I mean, to be fair, if I got some Fortnite backbling for my housewarming gift, I'd be pretty psyched about it.
Gemini can help create it. Let's see, you like flamingos and clouds? How about wearing top hats? Oh, and make it punk rock? Looks kind of emo. Huh, emo flamingo.
Huh, emo flamingo. That should be a band name.
Why does everyone in these commercials act like a child? Like seriously, why does Google want us talking to their phone like it's an imaginary best friend? There are actual use cases for this sort of program, but this is getting ridiculous. I feel like I'm watching Sesame Street with no puppet.
Yeah, but that giant talking vegetable scared me.
It can also do other things, like watch this.
Can you help me write an out-of-office email?
Google loves the write this email for me crowd.
Gemini can also show you what to make with this.
Are we not going to talk about the fact that you got bare, cut up vegetables sitting raw in your fridge? Do you just go to the store and buy one of whatever looks interesting? Where did you buy this bun? A single unwrapped bun?
Okay, this is great. Granted, it takes some time to chew.
It even lets us search differently. Just circle and it searches.
Ding, 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 there we go. We finally got a feature. I like this. Not the part where Google has access to whatever's on my screen, but the fact that I can find things from saved screenshots instead of becoming a detective every 20 minutes when I'm trying to figure out what colorway of the dunk that is. And also, holy maximalism. I always wonder why Google goes for this maximalist styling on their sets and actors. But then I realized you'd have to be a maximalist to look at a $50 coral puck that does like 2 things and think, well, I'll just get 2 for the upstairs, 1 for the dining room, and 1 for the bathroom in case I get lonely. Hey Google, what do you think love is?
And you can make every photo look its best too. Now let's see, move this.
I appreciate them being honest with the final results, but this looks pretty bad. Well, I'm not gonna lie, they had me in the first half, but I guess if you're gonna hire filmmakers, they'll stretch like 1 minute worth of features into a 3.5 minute video. But before I end the video, I'm not just gonna let Samsung get away scot-free. Let's not forget this stupid cooking commercial.
No, no, no. No, no, no.
I added way too much sugar to my gochujang pasta sauce.
Gochujang pasta sauce? Go to my gochujang pasta sauce?
What do I do now?
Samsung does the baby talk almost worse than Google. With the Google ads, even the top comments are pretty positive overall. On this video, we have some real gems like, you can feel your brain dribbling out your ear as you watch it. You don't get cookies by adding butter to sauce in baking. Certainly stops me from buying such a stupid phone. He's making pasta sauce and you tell him to turn it into a dessert. He needed pasta sauce. Or the laundry video.
Just went to get you a tighter shirt. Tighter shirt.
Tighter shirt.
How should I wash my dress?
I don't know, look up a chart, pay attention in home ec. We're still on this let my phone do the thinking for me train. This isn't the worst case, but still, I'm not limiting myself to the brain power of a Snapdragon 8+++. Hey Gemini, what do you think I should do? Should I double down? Sir, this is free card poker. Give me a second, my phone is thinking.
Do I just put it in?
Remember to turn it inside out to protect the sequins.
Can I put it in the dryer?
The icon on the tag says no.
Oh, thank goodness I asked. You just saved date night.
You're wearing sequins on a date night?
Honey, it was ruined when she bought it. Yeah.
Am I the only one thinking that this ad is a pure display of how clueless we gonna become about everything? Are we getting this stupid that we can't understand a clothes tag? See, I was thinking the same thing, but have you looked at all the symbols for laundry tags? I feel like I've seen less symbols in Destiny 2 raids. I counted. I mean, you don't have to memorize this, but hey, if you buy a garment that looks different or feels different than what you normally buy, do a little research because chances are it needs to be treated a little differently. There's a less thought of fact of the day for you, which I guess it's what she's doing in the video, so what am I arguing about again? That cute guy behind him should be the lead. Ooh, baby Spencer over here.
Baby, what?
Well, we're almost done. Last up, we got study tips.
Oh, I see what's going on.
Can you help me study this? Happy to. Let's start. What are mutations?
I don't know. Can you explain it to me in a simple way?
I give up. Okay, we're talking about mutations. I'd assume this lady is in med school or something. This textbook looks college level. She probably paid hundreds for it. At this point in your academic career, you should have bolstered your literary skills, having the ability to digest complex topics and rely on your own experience learning these foreign ideas and developing your own strategies to achieve success at an institutional level.
I don't know. Can you explain it to me in a simple way?
Gemini is trying to throw you a bone here. Do you even know what a Ninja Turtle is? Are you living under a rock? I love the fact that they seal the fate of this group when they drop whatever they're doing and become infatuated with this chick's phone. Like, ooh, I trust Gemini instead of Bruner and Sidar 13th edition. You really got me with the laundromat commercial. You really did. But then you just had to make 3 commercials instead of 1. The moral of the story is to learn for yourself. Try to find direct sources of information when you can, and if you have to. The data center in Ohio can regurgitate the information back to you.
Yes. Oof.
Why do you think they call it a tape measure? It doesn't stick to anything.
Alright. Let me find another video. See here.
May 2017. Dozens of hospitals across the UK grind to a halt. Computer screens flash a chilling message. All files encrypted. Pay a ransom or lose everything. Surgeries are canceled, ambulances diverted. Nurses and doctors watch helplessly as a virus paralyzes their life-saving work. And here's the kicker.
Oof.
That virus was built by the most powerful intelligence agency on the planet. The NSA's own cyber weapon has just been turned against the world. How did America's top spy agency lose control of its own weapons? And who turned the hunter into the hunted? NSA headquarters in Fort Meade, Maryland, home to the agency's elite hacking units. Inside a high-security division called Tailored Access Operations, TAO, the National Security Agency has built an arsenal of cyber weapons unlike any other.
Alright.
This elite hacking team, known in whispers as the Equation Group, is so advanced that it's been linked to world-changing cyber attacks like Stuxnet, the virus that sabotaged Iran's nuclear program. Their toolkit is as fearsome as it is secret. Custom malware, zero-day exploits that attack undisclosed software flaws, and clandestine programs with sci-fi code names like Epic Banana or Bug Direction. These tools are powerful enough to crash power grids or silently siphon secrets from a terrorist's computer.
Alright, see
For
here.
years, the NSA believed its arsenal was safe behind layers of secrecy. They were the hunters, never the hunted. To the NSA's hackers, these programs are the crown jewels, the keys to the kingdom, as one former operator put it. With them, the NSA can pry open almost any target, and they guard these secrets fiercely, locking them down under layers of encryption and high security clearance. At least, that's what they thought. But in the summer of 2016, something feels off. Imagine being an NSA operator and catching wind of a strange rumor online, whispers that someone somewhere has breached the Equation Group. It seems absurd. Who would dare try to rob the world's best hackers?
No one for sure.
August 2016. Out of nowhere, an online message appears, written in bizarre, broken English and hacker slang. The authors call themselves the Shadow Brokers. They claim they've hacked the NSA's Equation Group and offer proof, a sample of stolen files. We find cyber weapons made by creators of Stuxnet. We hack Equation Group. We find many, many Equation Group cyber weapons, the Shadow Brokers proclaim. To prove they're serious, they release a free teaser, a 300 megabyte cache of NSA hacking tools, then announce an auction for the rest.
Alright.
Price of entry, 1 million Bitcoin, roughly $580 million. It sounds absurd, like a prank or an obvious scam. At first, many experts are skeptical. Could someone really have hacked the NSA? But as analysts dig into the leaked code, jaws drop. The code carries unmistakable fingerprints, a secret 16-character string linking it to the NSA. In fact, an internal classification tag in the malware matches one from secret NSA documents leaked by Edward Snowden years before. This is real. The NSA's worst nightmare is unfolding in plain sight. Their secret arsenal has been raided. Overnight, the Shadow Brokers transform from a fringe curiosity into a nightmare for U.S. intelligence. The NSA's hacker arsenal is dangling out in the open, up for sale to whoever bids the highest. Governments and tech companies scramble. Firewall vendors rush out emergency patches. Websites hosting the auction are taken down. Publicly, the NSA says nothing. They never comment on leaks like this. But behind closed doors, an emergency damage assessment kicks off. They need to know how much was stolen and how. Was there a traitor inside? Did Russian or Chinese spies somehow breach an NSA server? Every possibility is terrifying. Meanwhile, the shadow brokers taunt them from afar. The Equation group not know what lost. One message jeers in its broken dialect, implying the NSA might not even realize which tools have been taken. Despite all the buzz, the million Bitcoin auction is a flop. No bidder comes forward with that kind of money for mystery files. Then the brokers shift tactics. They beg for crowdfunding, asking 10,000 BTC to dump the rest. They collect only a pittance. It seems their big payday might slip away. But rather than backing off, the shadow brokers get more aggressive. By the end of 2016, they're regularly posting more stolen data, lists of servers hacked by the NSA, more code names of exploits, dribbling out proof that they're still in control. And all along, they taunt the NSA with each leak. For America's spy agency, it's beyond humbling. It's terrifying. And the worst was yet to come. As the shadow brokers dump secrets online, the NSA desperately hunts for the traitor or hacker behind the breach. Just days after the first leak, FBI agents storm a quiet home in Maryland. They arrest Harold Martin, an NSA contractor, and discover he's been hoarding an astonishing 50 terabytes of classified data in his house. For a moment, officials hope the shadow brokers have been caught, but that hope evaporates quickly. Even with Martin behind bars, the shadow brokers continue posting cryptic messages and leaks. It looks like Martin may not be the mastermind after all, or at least he wasn't acting alone. The real identity of the shadow brokers remains as murky as ever. By early 2017, after months of sporadic leaks, the shadow brokers suddenly go silent. In January, they announce they're retiring, but not before releasing one last trove of Windows hacking tools as a parting shot. For a few weeks, there's an eerie quiet. Maybe the storm has passed. Maybe the shadow brokers really are gone. Then, on April 14th, 2017, they roar back to life. Without warning, a password appears on the shadow brokers' blog that unlocks an encrypted file they had teased months earlier. Inside is a motherlode of NSA hacking exploits. No auction, no ransom, just a data dump of cyber weapons scattered onto the internet like a box of secrets tipped out on the floor. In an instant, every hacker on the planet gains access to the NSA's most potent remaining weapons. Tools with ominous names, Dark Pulsar, Eternal Romance, and the now infamous Eternal Blue, are now available to cybercriminals, hostile nations, anyone with an internet connection. The trove also reveals some of the NSA's global targets. One leaked file shows the agency had infiltrated the SWIFT banking network, spying on financial transactions. Another contains tools for compromising Linux servers. The breadth of the leak is mind-boggling. It's as if a magician's entire bag of tricks has been spilled for everyone to see. And the shadow brokers aren't done. In posts laced with cynical humor and political rants, they continue to mock the US government. At one point, they even offer a monthly subscription service, claiming they'll release more stolen NSA exploits on a regular basis to subscribers. It sounds like a dark parody, a stolen cyber weapon membership club. The audacity is unprecedented. Never before has a superpower's hacking arsenal been laid out in the open like this. Now every hacker on Earth now had access to the NSA's darkest tools. The stage is set for chaos, and chaos is exactly what comes next. It didn't take long for those leaked cyber weapons to draw blood. Exactly 1 month after the shadow brokers' April dump, on May 12, 2017, a massive ransomware attack explodes across the globe. This was WannaCry, a malicious worm that raced through networks, encrypting every file in its path. Within days, over 200,000 computers in more than 150 countries were devastated. But the numbers only told part of the story. In the UK, hospitals were hit especially hard. Some cancer patients missed chemotherapy. In Spain, telecom giant Telefonica was crippled. FedEx in the US was knocked offline. In many of these cases, staff didn't even know how to operate without digital systems. Entire departments had to relearn how to use paper records overnight. Delays cost lives. Not always immediately, but over weeks of disruption. And because the attackers asked for Bitcoin, many institutions couldn't even legally pay the ransom. So they were stuck, trapped by a weapon made by an ally and unleashed by an enemy they didn't even know. WannaCry wasn't just a hack. It was a global paralysis event, one that showed just how fragile modern infrastructure had become, and how quickly that fragility could be exploited. At the heart of WannaCry was a piece of code called Eternal Blue. If that sounds familiar, it should. Eternal Blue was one of the NSA's stolen exploits. Originally a top-secret tool to break into computers, now it was being used to hold computers hostage for ransom. Security analysts soon traced WannaCry to hackers linked to North Korea, effectively turning an American weapon against American allies. But the pain was only beginning. In June 2017, an even more destructive cyber plague struck. Nicknamed NotPetya, this malware pretended to be ransomware, but was purely destructive. It first tore through computer networks in Ukraine, banks, government offices, energy companies, and then it spilled out to the rest of the world. Global corporations were brought to their knees. Shipping giant Maersk had to reinstall software on every infected machine, halting its ports. Pharmaceutical company Merck lost production for weeks. FedEx's European is knocked offline, costing the company $400 million in losses. The White House later estimated NotPetya caused over $10 billion in damage, the most costly cyber attack in history. And like a cruel joke, NotPetya also leveraged the NSA's Eternal Blue to spread its devastation. In the space of weeks, the NSA's secret arsenal had been turned into a public menace. Allies of the US suffered. Ordinary people suffered. The very tools built to give the NSA an edge were now a sword swinging back at its own side. Critics argued that if the NSA had disclosed the Windows vulnerability when they found it, instead of weaponizing it, WannaCry might never have happened. The NSA's horde of exploits, once an asset, had become a liability of historic proportions. And through it all, the shadow brokers were nowhere to be found. They unleashed the virus. Then they disappeared. The world was left burning, and the architects were gone. But one mystery still lingered. Who were they? And why did they do it? So who were the shadow brokers? And how did they pull off this brazen heist? The NSA, an agency used to tracking others, now finds itself in the uncomfortable position of investigating a theft of its own crown jewels. Was it a turncoat insider who smuggled out the tools on a thumb drive, Edward Snowden style? Or did a foreign spy service hack into an NSA server and quietly siphon off the exploits? Every theory reads like a spy thriller, and none have been conclusively proven. Some evidence points to Russia. In fact, Edward Snowden himself speculated in real time that the breach looked like a Russian operation. He suggested that perhaps Russian intelligence hacked an NSA malware staging server. Basically, one of the cloud servers where NSA hackers secretly park their tools during operations. If true, it means Russian spies might have been lying in wait, secretly recording the NSA's hacking routine and snatching the tools midstream. It's a truly chilling scenario. America's best hackers outplayed on their own covert turf, and it's plausible. The tactics line up with how state-sponsored hackers operate. However, other experts argue that if Russia had pulled this off, they likely wouldn't have drawn attention to it with public leaks. An intelligence agency might quietly harvest an enemy's weapons for its own use, rather than tip off the world. So the Kremlin theory, while tantalizing, isn't a slam dunk. Another theory looks inward, an insider threat. Harold Martin wasn't the only NSA contractor who walked out with secrets. He was just the one who got caught. Could others inside the NSA have sold or leaked these tools out of greed or grievance? The shadow broker's odd mix of motivations, first money, then bizarre politics, might hint at a rogue insider with shifting agendas, or perhaps a small group of whistleblowers turned extortionists. Their messages even claimed they voted for Trump and felt betrayed, which is an awfully personal touch for foreign spies. Linguistic analysis of their posts suggested the writers were likely native English speakers, faking a foreign accent. Maybe the culprit was closer to NSA's home than anyone realized, or perhaps it was an unrelated hacker collective or another country entirely. An opportunistic group that stumbled upon an NSA server and decided to cause chaos for fame and profit. In 2017, one former NSA employee admitted frankly, "I don't know if anybody knows other than the Russians." And we don't even know if it's the Russians. We don't know at this point. Anything could be true. To this day, the Shadow Broker's true identity remains a mystery. They went silent after late 2017, and no arrests have been made. We may never fully learn how they pulled it off. The NSA, for its part, likely implemented sweeping internal changes to ensure such a breach can't happen again, but they'll never broadcast those fixes. In the intelligence world, admitting your weaknesses is the last thing you do. In their wake, the NSA was forced to reckon with a bitter reality, that a cache of cyber weapons, no matter how advanced, is a double-edged sword. If you lose control of it, it can and will be turned against you. The agency that once seemed untouchable had been outplayed by an unknown adversary. The hunter had become the prey. And the real question isn't just how they got in, it's who's next. The Shadow Broker saga serves as a reminder that no one, not even the NSA, is invincible. An intelligence empire wielding cutting-edge cyber weapons was brought to its knees by a faceless adversary using its own tools. We may never uncover who the Shadow Brokers were or why they did it, but their legacy is a haunting one. In the world of cyber warfare, today's triumph can become tomorrow's threat. And as long as secrets and weapons remain in the shadows, the story isn't truly over.
Yep. Yep. Hey, what's up? Just drawing right now and listening to YouTube videos. Just doing more art practice stuff. So how you been? I've seen the actual original video of this before. The fuck?
Oh, what hell looks like. Chat! You know,
I've seen the original video of this one before. Hold on, let me... Come on! Oh, wait a minute. This double-edged sword. I did default view and then... There we go. There we go. All right.
Satan. Is that Berlin? Whatever city you want it to be, that's the hell that you want. I'm ready. This is hell.
Imagine breathing air so toxic your lungs bleed, where children are born with deformities from the metals in their mother's blood. Picture sleeping in a wire cage, in a space smaller than a prison cell, as cockroaches crawl beneath your back. From
Oh, it was just Asmongold's stream room then.
toxic
Lol.
wastelands where nothing grows,
Oh, it's
to
not that big
sprawling
deal.
slums ruled by gangs who execute trespassers on sight. These are the most horrifying urban hells ever seen. So let's go and take a journey around the world to see the lives of people living in
Alright.
hell on Earth. Here we are in what was once the most densely populated place on Earth, the Kowloon
there.
Walled City. Now imagine for a moment, a single city block housing 50,000 people all crammed into just 6.4 acres of land.
Chat, imagine the smell. Ugh.
That's roughly 3.3 million people per square mile. The buildings grow
What?
so close together that sunlight never reached the ground level. Hundreds of unplanned structures were built on top of each other, creating a three-dimensional maze of corridors, staircases, and tunnels plunged
And look at the fucking wiring sticking out. You get zapped by that and become a superhero.
into perpetual darkness.
Gotham
Definitely.
City, chat.
Formerly located in North Hong Kong, triads ran illegal offices next to drug dens and brothels. Unregulated factories operated day and night. Dog meat processors, unlicensed medical clinics,
Oh
and
my
sweatshops
God,
all
what?
crammed into tiny apartments.
Dog
Though the
meat?
city was eventually demolished in 1994, its legacy lives on in Hong Kong's modern housing crisis. As fast forward today, and more than 200,000 people live in what locals call coffin homes. homes. Space is so small they'd be illegal to house prisoners in most of the world. These 15 square foot apartments are barely long
15 square feet?
Oof.
Bro, you can't even like roll over. You can hear people fucking beating off.
enough to
Lol.
rise
This
on,
is horrible.
and not even tall enough to stand in. And yet they still cost around $200 to $500 a month, which is about half the average income. This isn't even cheap considering what you're getting. And the most horrifying of Hong Kong's coffin homes are the cage homes, where people live in wire mesh boxes stacked 3 high in dilapidated buildings.
Why do they put them into cages, man? What are they, rats?
Some buildings in the Sham Shui Po and Mong Kok districts house thousands of these subdivided units, with entire families living in 40 square foot spaces, cooking, sleeping, and studying all on the same bed. And of course, air conditioning is a luxury in summer, as temperatures inside these metal boxes can reach 100 Fahrenheit.
Hong Kong is sweltering under one of its hottest summers on record. It's hard to stay cool even when there's a breeze. So imagine what it's like to be holed up in a home like this. There are
There's
15
no wind.
individual flats in this 33 square meter apartment.
15 residents live here, each to a cubicle. Everything
How do you make food or like, where do you shit, chat?
they own crammed into narrow shelves.
It's
above every
cozy.
mattress.
Oh yeah, real
These are cage
cozy.
homes.
But let's go travel over to Peru, where you can find the world's highest city.
Shit in a
And yet
bottle.
this city, the closest city to the heavens, might also be the most hellish place on earth.
Oh, I've
Emilio
seen
Sukase
this.
still remembers his first day in La Rinconada. It was 1995, and at the age of 17, he arrived at the settlement perched at a quite literally breathtaking 16,700 feet above sea level, the highest permanent human habitation on Earth. And the name La Rinconada translates to the cornered one, a fitting description for this
Oh
place
my
where
God, it's
desperation
hell,
meets
bros.
opportunity. That first day, the
I think I watched a video and the guy went up there and you instantly your head starts hurting because there's like no air there and you have to get acclimated. It's that high up the mountain.
thin mountain air hit
Yep.
Emilio like a physical blow. His head throbbed mercilessly,
Yeah.
his gums bled, and waves of nausea
Not
left him doubled
pre-watch.
over. Every breath contained half the oxygen found at sea level, so his body responded the only way it could, by producing extra red blood cells, a natural adaptation that would eventually make his blood dangerously thick and strain his heart. And yet despite these hardships, Emilio stayed, like the 50,000 others who now call this place home, as the need for work was too desperate to turn back. 28 years later, and Emilio has survived longer than most. The average miner here lives to just 35 years old. Walking
Oh my
through the muddy,
God.
trash-strewn streets, he
Shit, how many of you are like that old, man? You'd be dead!
passes men with the telltale purple-blue lips and hands, which are
Oh my
infamous signs of
God.
chronic mountain sickness that affects many long-time residents. La Rinconada sits precariously on the side of Mount Anania, all beneath a glacier called the Sleeping Beauty, though there's nothing beautiful
Yeah,
about what happens beneath
very
it. In the
beautiful.
mine where Emilio works,
Very
ore
beautiful
extraction happens
indeed.
through a primitive method that's barely changed in centuries. Miners grind ore, treat it with mercury, and then burn off the mercury to isolate the gold. This vaporized mercury then settles in
Uh-oh.
everything. The soil, the water, even the
So
rain.
you
Emilio
just
has seen
die?
the consequences firsthand. Neurological damage, birth defects, and
Gives you
cancer throughout
cancer,
the population.
bro.
Children develop
Ugh.
chronic respiratory problems within months of birth. After decades of working underground, Emilio's lungs bear the scars of silicosis, a disease caused by inhaling silica dust. Medical surveys have shown
Oh,
that
yeah.
50 to 60% of miners' bodies show evidence of this condition. But what keeps Emilio and others trapped in his
Shit.
nightmarish place is an economic system so exploitative it borders on slavery. He works under a system of 30 days of unpaid labor followed by a single day where miners can take whatever ore they can carry out on their backs.
So there's probably like people that die in there during fights and stuff, chat. Yeah, like they shank each other like prison rules. It's like what is it called? The Purge. That's crazy. They probably kill each other for like little like pieces so that they can sell it. What if one guy finds nothing and then he's just fucked? He dies, man.
Whether that ore
Oh
contains
my
any gold is
God.
just pure chance.
You
Some
guys
months
think you
may
have a
bring enough
bad
to feed his
life,
family,
huh?
but many others bring nothing. La Rinconada has earned the Spanish nickname La Ciudad Sin Ley del Peru, meaning the lawless city of Peru. Law enforcement is virtually non-existent. In 2019 alone, authorities rescued 68 victims of human trafficking from the town's slum nightclubs.
Oh
the
my
same year,
God.
7 miners were found executed in a tunnel, each with a bullet to the head. Emilio has considered leaving moving many times,
It's
especially when
mafia
gold prices
time.
drop. When prices spiked by 235% between 2001 and 2009, this mountain city's population swelled up by 30,000 more people, all
Yeah.
chasing the same dream that brought him here as a teenager. And as he walks home through the streets awash with sewage and mercury, Emilio understands better than most
the
why La
water.
Rinconada is called the Cornered One. It's a place where people with no other option come to die slowly in the pursuit of wealth that they'll likely never find. But what actually is a slum? Well, the UN calls them informal settlements characterized by inadequate housing and squalid living conditions. But this clinical definition really fails to capture the brutal reality of these urban environments, where millions are packed into spaces designed for thousands and where infrastructure has collapsed, meaning the social contract between citizens and government has effectively dissolved. To see what I mean by this, let's head over to Nairobi. As soon as you arrive
it's
in
Africa,
Kibera, the
isn't
first
it?
thing that
Yeah.
hits you is the stench.
Yep.
It's an
New York, Detroit. Guys, I'm
Hey,
starting to
Sky,
think
how are
Detroit is
you?
probably not that bad. Guys.
I'm just drawing right now.
Oh.
Never quite leaves your nostrils, even after you
How you been?
With such limited sanitary options, many residents turn to flying toilets, which is plastic bags filled with human waste and thrown into
Alright.
rooftops or into ditches.
Flying
Oof.
toilets, chat. That is so gross, man. What if the bag breaks and just shit everywhere?
When the heavy rain comes, as they frequently do,
That'd be the
the
shitty
bags
situation.
dry. The narrow dirt paths between shacks transform into flowing rivers of excrement that children must wade through on their way to the makeshift schools.
Oh my
Outbreaks of diseases
God,
like
man.
typhoid are so common
These
that they barely make
together.
local news anymore. Africa's largest
These
slum
are the
has
shit.
500,000
Alright.
people into
So
an
I'm gonna
area
have to like
3 kilometers across. The vast majority
redo
of these people
this.
survive on
This
less than
part.
$2 a day in a single
It's gonna
roof
have
shack
to
built
be
from mud, scrap metal, and plastic sheeting. And yet,
this.
despite these conditions, it continues to grow. Rural Kenyans arrive daily seeking
Fucking river
opportunity in
of shit,
Nairobi, only to
chat.
find themselves trapped in a cycle of poverty.
I
that
don't know, I'm
passes
feeling
from one
kinda grateful
generation to
right
the
now,
next.
chat.
And all the way over in Venezuela and Petare, you struggle to sleep from all the gunfire echoing across the hillsides at night. By dawn, you'd need to check with neighbors about what streets saw fighting overnight and which gangs now control what territory. This sprawling favela built on steep hillsides around Caracas houses nearly 2
Oof.
million
Oh,
people
that's
in
famous,
what might be one of
Caracas.
the most dangerous neighborhoods in the Western Hemisphere. With
Yeah.
a murder rate of 90 per
Steep.
100,000 residents, more than double Venezuela's
Steep.
national average, death is a daily reality here. Gang wars in Batari aren't quick exchanges but drawn-out battles that can last for days. Residents then become prisoners in their own homes as bullets tear through thin walls
And you
of
can't go to
makeshift
school or
houses.
work.
Because of this, police barely ever enter these neighborhoods,
That's so
leaving teenage
sad,
gang
bro.
members with high-powered weapons to establish their own brutal form of order.
Perma-hardcore
The physical layout
PvP
makes
mode,
violence
man.
almost inevitable. Houses are stacked haphazardly on the hills,
Yeah,
creating
yeah,
efficient
I
hidden
understand.
corners and endless escape routes for criminals. Children here then learn survival skills
Oh.
and basic life lessons. Kids
I
as young
am
as 4 are taught to
so
hear,
happy
follow,
I
and
get
follow
to,
sound
I can draw. I can draw again.
Those kids have like actual
Just-
PTSD, man. At
Oof.
4?
reflex that becomes as natural as
Just the
sleep.
act of drawing is therapeutic.
Isn't just their size, but their unchanging nature. They are intergenerational traps where millions are born, live, and die without ever experiencing
Chat,
the
you
basic
could've been
services
born
that
here,
most
huh?
take for granted. And in most cases, they're only growing. But before we continue, I used to always think that quitting
Right.
my bad habit would be impossible. And it turns out I was right.
Chocolate.
That's because it's not about
Chocolate.
quitting, it's about replacing. And
Croissant.
that's where fume comes in. No vapor, no nicotine, just natural flavored air that actually satisfies. No stress, no
Ooh.
withdrawals, just a simple swap.
Ooh.
Chat, we were talking about shit rivers not even 3 minutes ago, okay?
Because you see,
What are you
fume is
talking
an
about?
award flavored air device with no
Alright,
vapor, no
alright.
nicotine, just natural
Shit
flavor. Bringing the
rivers.
flavor to your mouth and not your lungs, which
Oh,
completely fills the void
just
that
like your
ditching a bad
nuts.
habit can leave, allowing you to quit the habit of vaping as a habitual aid instead of a
Oh,
drug,
wow, no, what the
meaning that you
fuck?
can use it anywhere with no smoke, no vapor, and no restrictions.
Excuse me.
It's 100% nicotine free. There's no chemicals and no addiction. And they also use non-toxic flavors.
Okay,
all with
okay.
natural ingredients. And because of all of this, you never need batteries or even have to charge it.
Sorry,
You just pick it
allergies.
up and go, all for a fraction of the cost of vaping or smoking. And with its premium weighted design, it just looks slick and feels great in your hand. As they're just built to
Slick.
fidget with magnetic snaps, clicks, and adjustable airflow dial that sounds so satisfying. Personally, my go-to flavor is crisp mint because it's super refreshing and keeps me feeling sharp throughout the day.
Maple
Perfume does offer
pepper.
a ton of different flavors, so there's something for everyone. If vapor was compared to sticky soda, fume cores are closer to herbal teas, allowing you to satisfy your oral fixation through a passive diffusion system that utilizes no electronics, vapor, or combustion.
Make sure you get the joints.
That's why Fume is even backed by doctors across the US. So go to tryfume.com/moon or scan the QR code and use Moon to get your free Fume topper when you order your journey pack today. Now we're about to take a cold plunge as we head into one of the darkest, coldest, most polluted, and most depressing substances.
Mining.
Everybody knows about this place. It's an old ass mining town, isn't it?
I know about that too.
Sergey's is
It's so fucking bad. I can't even.
For 2
I
months,
can't even talk.
Matryoshka's
I myself can't talk about it since I'm a small
never
creator.
above the horizon. He'll work his entire shift in the nickel plant in darkness and return home in darkness. This is the life 300 kilometers north of
Oh
the
shit.
Arctic Circle. And as he opens his apartment
What the
window,
fuck? I didn't even know I can minimize that. It's not affected.
the sulfur dioxide is particularly bad today. He can actually see the yellow-tinged fog hanging between the Soviet apartment blocks. Breakfast is quick and basic. Just tea and bread from the limited selection at the local store. There's an eerie silence all around him, always feeling like he's being watched. Fresh produce is a luxury in this isolated outpost, as it's accessible only by air for much of the year. This is exactly what Russians call a closed city, where you need permission to enter or even leave. It's almost totally cut off in the winter and has no road connections. As he makes his way outside, Sergey crunches through snow that's stained black from metal particles constantly settling from the air. There's very little wildlife inside the city limits. The few scraggly trees that manage to grow are stunted and twisted. This ecological dead zone—
It's like Fallout. Look at the... Oh my god, look at the factory fume. You can see that far away.
extends for 30 kilometers in every direction, all from the enormous Nornickel smelting complex that dominates the skyline. This industrial plant is why everyone is here, and it belches out 1.9 million tons of sulfur dioxide annually, more than the entire United States combined. But this also provides the relatively high wages that keeps this city 175,000 residents from leaving. At lunch, Sergey will chat with a co-worker whose 5-year-old daughter was diagnosed with a third respiratory infection this winter. Children born in the city develop chronic breathing problems before they can even walk. The local birth defect rate is significantly higher than the national average. It's why doctors quietly advise that pregnant women leave the city and never come back. The workday then ends, and Sergey steps back into the perpetual night, where temperatures can plummet to an insane -40.
Bro, the men and women that live there must love their families so much to stay there. Holy shit.
Fahrenheit. This is the point where Fahrenheit and Celsius converge. His breath completely freezes instantly, forming ice crystals on his scarf, and this brutal winter lasts 9 months. Back home, he doesn't open the windows again no matter how stuffy the apartment gets. The ground beneath his building is contaminated with copper, arsenic, lead, and nickel at levels hundreds of times above safety standards. Which is why it's no surprise that cancer rates are 2.5 times the Russian average, and life expectancy is 10 years shorter than anywhere else in the country. As he prepares for bed, Sergey might glance at photos of relatives living in southern Russia. Why doesn't he leave? Well, this place gets in your blood, literally and figuratively. Norilsk was built for industry, first by expendable gulag prisoners during Stalin's era, now maintained by workers making the grim economic bargain to earn more now, but almost certainly die sooner.
There's a lot of places in the world that are like that too, where they have people that just kind of throw themselves in there because it pays a good amount, and then they send the money back to their family so that they can keep sustaining themselves. It's very sad, but like it's pretty common everywhere.
2,500 miles west of Jersink, and you'll find a different flavor of toxic hell. Dimitri's morning commute to Jersink takes him past faded Soviet-era murals celebrating chemical production. One depicts scientists in white coats proudly creating new compounds. Another shows workers handling industrial materials. As one of Russia's key sites for chemical weapon production, including toxic nerve agents, the city holds the dubious honor of being named the most chemically polluted city on Earth by the
Dzerzhinsk? How do you say it? Dzerzhinsk?
Guinness Book of World Records. And so the soil here contains dioxin levels 17 million times the safe limit. Quarter of the city's population works in chemical factories. Dimitri's father did, as did his father before him. Most days he can tell which plant is running which process by the particular smell and color of the emissions rising from different smokestacks across the industrial zone. At the factory cafeteria,
Jesus Christ,
health issues. Almost everyone has some sort of ailment, respiratory problems, skin conditions, or more serious diseases. The death rate here exceeds the birth rate by an astonishing 260%, and life expectancy hovers at 42 years years for men and 47 for women. The short
I hope that he covers that one town that has a horrible, like, respiratory problem in America.
Okay,
The one
okay.
that dumps all the, like, mining stuff into the river.
Layer 3.
I forget where it is. It's somewhere in the Midwest, I think.
shortest in the industrialized world. What connects both of these
This
Russian
is so
cities is
bad,
their
man.
shared
Pause
history.
again.
Industrial centers built with little
Set up
regard for
sound.
human life. First, to fulfill communist production
I mean, I
goals,
tried
now
to-
generate profits
For
for
Mama
oligarchs.
Nate.
Hold on.
The environment has changed, but the basic question remains the
I mean, I tried to set up sound alerts on Twitch. Alright. Alright, so everything should be working. Everything should be working just fine. I'm not sure what the hell just happened. Like every stream, all 3 streams froze up. So I don't know what the hell just happened. Every stream's freezing the fuck up. What the fuck is going on? It was just working a moment ago. What the fuck is going on? I wasn't doing any. What the fuck? Learn none. Maybe the browser is taking up a chunk, but it shouldn't be taking that much. All 3 fucking streams. What the fuck is going on? Pardon. Excuse me? I'm gonna have to fucking restart this again. Fuck. What is stream managers? It's still. It looks like it's going okay. I can't tell. It looks like it's still going to shit. Kick is probably getting hit the worst of all 3. I'm not sure what's going on anymore. Kickstream's not fucking loading at all. I don't fucking know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I literally don't know what's going on. I may need to restart my PC to figure out what's going on. It was just working. It was just fucking working. Fuck is going on? It was just fucking working. Do I start really buffer? Hold on. I don't fucking know what's going on. What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? Trying to see if it's What the fuck is this? Okay, okay, it seems to be working. Holy shit. Fuck me, no, please, no, please. Are you fucking kidding me? Do I have to restart my whole fucking PC? Do I have to fucking do that? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? No, I'm restarting my whole fucking PC. This is fucking ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous.